And we're back to FreeCodeCamp. Let us take care of the first certification project. It's the bar chart right here. This is the result that we're going to create, and it looks almost exactly like the example that was given. Once again, I tried to keep track of all of the names that are necessary to pass the test. I hope that I've covered it all. Let us start from scratch right here. And by the way, I'm going to upload the finished version to CodePen, but I don't really like CodePen. I much rather enjoy coding it right here in Notepad. So we'll set it up yet again. Typical HTML. And then we need scripts. We need D3. So copy paste it here as our source. When I have an H1 US GDP bar chart, I've created an SVG container for our entire graph or chart. ID chart. Don't forget to close it. We also need tooltips later on when we hover over the bars. We want to have the values visible. I've created a div container for that. ID tooltip. That's basically it for the HTML part. Let me comment this out properly so that we don't see it anymore. I'll just edit this for explanation. At first we'll fetch the data, and this was given. We'll use our D3, and you can copy paste the URL from the certification project. We call this data set, and we use the specific data in it. Then I set up the chart dimensions. I'll use these specific values. I've tried and tested them, they should work. And these for the margin and the width. Height also, we should be good here. And now we'll create the SVG elements. We've used ID chart, so we can use it here, ID selector. And here we want to use the attribute width first, add margin to it. So that's all stuff that's covered in the D3 course section on FreeCodeCamp. There's nothing new in it. We also need height, then append G, and then we'll add a transform. Once we've got that, we can work on the scale, X and Y. And that was also covered in the course section. And here our dataset is used. D is the specific data inside of the array. We use the index position to find it and then use it. Let me check if I have all the right brackets here. I tried to look a little bit further into using a good code editor. I guess I'm going to use brackets, or at least I'm going to try using it. As I said, CodePen, I didn't really like it, even though it's not bad for sharing code, which is why I've uploaded it anyway, so this certification project to it, but I'm not going to use it for real-time coding. We can almost copy the entire thing for the Y scale. We just need to fix some values here. Range is height, obviously. Domain should be fine. Now let's take care of the axis. And it uses X and Y scale. Then we'll check the SVG. Let me check the ID that we need to use. It's Y minus axis and X minus axis. That should be what we need here. Now we can create the bars. We use our dataset, enter append direct, and then we'll access it, our dataset, and use the specific data. It was date in position 0 and GDP in position 1. Use our X and Y scale. And here we use our tooltip. So when we hover over the bar, we want to have it shown, and when the mouse is out, so it's in a different position, it should be hidden. We have created the tooltip in our body HTML, but we also need to create it here in the D3 in the script. Our ID selector for it was tooltip. As I said, it should be shown when we hover over it. the event will be this hover effect. We'll just have to adjust the style of it, and then we want to adjust what is shown. It should be the GDP and also the date. Once again, date was index 0, GDP index 1. And I believe it's a must that we have to add billion USD here, so don't forget that, as far as I recall correctly. We also need to hide it. Oh, display should be none then. We have added that to mouse over and mouse out before. And let me check. I've missed something here. I'll go over this code. I'm not going to change anything, but I'm not going to make you wait while I check my code. And here I've simply missed to add the bar class. So under select all, we obviously have to select the bar so that everything is shown, but that was the only thing missing. Now let me refresh it, and here we have it. And here was our tooltip. That should be good. Alright, I think I've got it all covered. So our tooltip is shown. It's not shown above the mouse, but I don't believe that this was necessary to pass the test. But we can style it so that the tooltip is not below the chart, but on top of our mouse. So let's just do this. Why not? I believe it's an example. We select the tooltip with an ID under style and then change the position to absolute. Let us set the background color to different value by using the alpha channel. But it's black, therefore you can't really see it on black bars. And if I make it color white, now we can see properly. Let me add some padding and a border radius. display none, and now it looks alright. But I also want to change the color of the bar. I don't want to have it black. Instead, I want to have kind of like a bluish color, maybe light blue. And let me add a transition fill of 0.2 seconds. And now this looks way better. We can see our tooltip properly. And when we hover over the bar, the fill should change a little bit. So let me make this dark blue. Edit the transition to have a little bit of a delay. But this should cover it all in the certification project. Let me check my CodePen. As I've said, I have it right here. It works, it runs, it's public, FCC data visualization on the microbrick. I'm going to link to it via the video description, so check that out. But I've added the script into HTML. I think it's easier, a better overview. So you can basically copy paste everything here into your own code editor and it should run and display this bar chart properly. Hope this video was helpful, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.